FPL Weekly. We are approaching the end of another international break. It feels like there's been more this year than usual, but anyway, I'll gloss over that. The good news is, from Saturday, it is carnage.
Just want to give you an update. There has been more this year because last year we had the World Cup.
Yeah,
so
it felt like loads. And I guess next year we won't get so many because it's going to be Euros in the summer.
Maybe
they won't go for World Cup qualifiers straight away, would they? So I think there wouldn't be as much next year.
Yeah, anyway. I'm unsure. No. Do you know what there will be?
Nations League.
What
a waste of time that is. Anyway, so
why? Can I just ask as well? Just about that. The Nations League, do they? If you get into those semi-finals and finals, you surely don't need to then qualify for the European.
There's some kind of reward there, isn't there? I remember thinking there was some kind of reward there, to be honest. I can't remember what.
Yeah.
So anyway, we don't want to talk about bad stuff that everyone hates. We want to talk about good stuff. So there is,
this time last week, we were talking and we were saying there isn't anything to talk about. And now this week, we have been talking for a lot of the day, and I kind of concluded it before we started recording with, we're doing an FPL special. And what we're going to do tonight, the content of what we're going to go through, is going to go through every single team. Because at the moment, I honestly think there's a viable point to having one player from almost every team in your team at the moment.
Yeah.
You can look at Burnley, who've got a great run of fixtures.
Yeah, Sheffield United have got a good run.
And you've got Man City. So top and tail of the table, I've got a really good. I've got. Everyone seems to have either all right or good fixtures. I can't think about anyone that has. Obviously, Chelsea has got acutely really bad, but my God, they get good. So So we're going to go through each and every team. We're going to do a little bit of an update on where we're up to, and then we're going to go through each and every team. We're going to talk about upcoming and long-term fixtures, and then we're going to talk about assets, about what we'd have. We're going to try and keep a little bit of a jot down of what we've kind of said, and by the end of it, I think we probably should have somewhere close to maybe a wildcard team.
That's fair.
And I think that would, I think it's just going to clear up a lot of things that are going on. And look, this is an evolving picture. This time yesterday, we would have been all over someone like Bowen. Whereas currently, he looks like he's injured for weeks. And weeks in the current fixtures is 5 game weeks. So,
exactly. I was going to say that. There's 8 game weeks in the next 5 actual weeks, 8 deadlines until the 30th of December. So we are flat out for the next 5 weeks, which is great.
Yeah.
But just all I'm saying to people is don't forget deadlines, because there's going to be shitloads of midweek ones coming up. There's a midweek deadline in game week 19, game week 18, game week 17 is a Friday, game week 15 is a Tuesday. So just keep on top of it. It's so easy for the casuals to just go, oh, it's Saturday. Oh yeah, I forgot about last week. Don't do that. I missed the deadline last year when I was away. I got away with it, but I was
Portugal.
So never again.
Portugal.
Yeah,
you were on the golf course.
Even now when I'm away, I set alarms and stuff. So never again. Okay, right. Quickly, where I'm at. So
definitely advice. Sorry, I tend to make my team, in kind of the weekend before. And what I mean by that is, say I was to lose my phone, or I was to end up in a coma.
Yeah.
Then
what do they call it? The bus team. The bus team.
Then my team is done.
Yeah.
Even if I miss it, then I'm basically so basically I've not got say in game week 18
stupid people on the bench yet.
Yeah. Say
all the content creators call it the bus team, and that basically means you probably would have heard them say bus team, and you probably thought, what are they on about? Bus team is that it's if you fall under a bus, that's your team. So if we use, that's why they call it the bus team. So if you ever hear us say, I heard someone explain that, which is really good. But if you ever hear us call it, which we're going to call it from now on because we are content creators, bus team, then
really,
that's what it is. Yeah, of course we are. Okay, so where I'm at. So really, I'll try and make this as quick as physically possible because I gave you about a 15-minute voice clip earlier. So I won't go through the whole team because we haven't got time. Key players I'm thinking about bringing in. Palmer's definitely one I've been banging on about him for weeks. His penalty against City was class. He's got to still be on penalties. He's got to be nailed. He's cheap. But what I would say is you can either don't go this week, you can either go in 14 or you go in 16. 14 is Brighton at home, United away. Brighton at home's okay, United away is okay. So you can go 14 or you can go 16. I'm probably going to go to wait till 16 because of something that I heard today, which actually stuck with me, which is something I'm probably going to go for, which is Eze for the next 3 and then on to Palmer. I heard it and I thought, I'm not sure, but it just works for me. I have spare transfers. I want Palmer, but I don't need him yet. And I think Eze can do some damage as a differential in the next 3. I've got 3 Villa, and I don't want to carry 3 Villa forward throughout this stretch because their games are actually really tough. However, they've got a good game week, got a good fixture in game week 18. And what we keep saying about game week 18, which is quite important, is City and Brentford blank. So everyone has a City player. Most have Haaland. And a lot of people have a Brentford player. So you need to make sure that your team for 18 is good unless you've got a wild card or a free hit or whatever you're doing. So I've decided to keep 2. I'm probably going to get rid of Diaby. Watkins have got a lot of value tied in, same with Cash. So I don't want to keep 3, but at the same time, 2 of them are going to be great for game week 18. So Diaby is going to go probably not this week because I think he could do some damage at Spurs. No Romero, no Van de Ven. So I think Diaby's got a chance of getting something at Spurs. But he'll probably go next week. Like I said, just don't really want to get rid of Cash or Watkins. Diaz has to go, sadly. It's a bit of a heavy heart, this one, because he's the kind of player that I have to take out. But would I be surprised if he starts scoring a few goals against people like Fulham at home? No, I wouldn't be surprised. Am I going to whinge about it? Probably. But I think I'm prepared for that to happen. But at the same time, I do think it's a player I just need to move on. Everything that happened with the kidnapping of his dad, and I think he's over it now, but international breaks, I don't know.
Are you claiming now that you know that Diaz is over the fact that he got his dad kidnapped?
I think he's over it. I think he's over it. I'm not suggesting he should be, but I think he is. Anyway, that came across really bad. I'm just trying to do this as quick as I can. So, God, I know. I need to take a breath. So, Diaz, with a heavy heart, has to go. Minutes risk, City away. Loads of fixtures coming up. Could easily be Jota at any given moment. Jota's been class when he's come on. Too much of a risk. Yes, I want a piece of... Well, I've got a piece of Liverpool's attack with Salah. But anyway, with a heavy heart, he has to go, and that has to be Mbeumo. So Mbeumo and Eze/Palmer are coming in. And Ketia, we both did well on. We both brought him in and he scored a hat-trick. But he's a big problem now. We would both admit that Jesus isn't out as long as we thought he would be. He played 90 minutes for Brazil yesterday. Now, does that mean he's definitely going to start against Brentford? No, but he's fit. So that is a bit of a problem. Now, he could easily play against Brentford, like I say, because Jesus has had 90 minutes. But with a fit Jesus, we can't have Nketiah. It's just not worth the risk. So that will probably... It's Isak or Nunez. I adore Nunez, but it will probably be Isak. His data when he's up top on his own is staggering. I think it's one of the best in the league. I think he's 0.9 XG per 90. On penalties, nailed. Good player. Half decent fixture. So I think he's a nice differential. So I'm looking at Isak to Nketiah. Diaby and Diaz are under big pressure for Mbeumo and Eze/Palmer. And at some point, Lamptey will go to probably Colwill when Chelsea's fixture run gets really good in 16. And maybe later on down the line, Flecken for when they have a double. Because you can technically bench your goalkeeper when they blank, and then you've got to have them there ready for the double. That's where I am. I hope that wasn't too long.
Oh, Jesus.
It wasn't too bad. Come on, it could have been a lot worse.
Right. I don't feel like I need to do that.
Because I'm 50 points ahead, baby.
More around kind of. I kind of want to go on to. Everyone knows that I'm wildcarding in. Well, if you don't, you do now. I'm wildcarding in 19. It looks like. So
that's the fixture straight after the blank, isn't it? So you're heading into the blank, and then you wildcard and get all your double players in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which, by the way, hasn't been announced yet.
No, it hasn't been announced yet, which is very odd, by the way. Very, very odd.
A lot of people will know that we are avid listeners of FPL. Oh my God, which one? With James Planet
FPL.
FPL, which is just honestly, I really endeavour everyone to turn us off and turn them on.
I don't want to criticise Surge, but James is Surge is fine, but James is outstanding. He's absolutely outstanding.
Well, little bit of a intel this week. Surge isn't on there, so full steam ahead.
The Q&A with James is very good.
Yeah,
I just interrupted. He got interrupted about Everton, didn't he? He's like, "Oh, breaking news from Surge: Everton have been docked. Did you hear that? Everton have been docked. Whatever." Yeah,
and he does a really good, interesting piece about Everton as well. That I sent you across.
Yeah, I listened to it this morning. Yeah, it was good.
That's really good. So, so basically, he was basically saying that this Brentford game needs to get announced basically in the next 7 days, and if it's not announced in the next 7 days, then it's a real big worry. He was suggesting that Man City won't want to have it, and they will use the Chelsea kind of example, as Chelsea had a load of doubles at the end of the season last year. Now, I don't understand why Man City would want that, because look, they're going to go so deep into loads of competitions that would suggest that they're going to have loads of fixtures at the end that happen to be quite important. I suppose the only way that they could look at it is to go, well, we might even have the league wrapped up by then, so therefore it doesn't even matter. So, look, it's a moving thing that I want to keep my eye on. But either way, I think that that Mbumo's coming in for me maybe this week. So
he's a no-brainer, by the way, Mbumo. And I know all the content creators keep banging on about him for those that keep listening to people, but either this week or next week, Mbumo is a bit of a no-brainer. He's a bit of a no-brainer. We'll come on to that
even with the blank, but right. So we're gonna start off with that, and we're gonna kind of pick maybe one, definitely one, if not two players from each one. I'm gonna try and keep a little bit of a note of those players, and so we're gonna start off with Arsenal.
Good alphabetical order. First thing I want to say, I guess we just briefly go over them as much as we can. Like you say, players and a brief chat. They've got the best defensive numbers in the league, so bear that in mind. Arsenal, you need an Arsenal defender, really. It's a bit silly to go without. Some people have two. I decided Gabriel, you got Saliba, we're fine. I suggest if you don't have one, I suggest you think about getting one. Their fixture run's very good, and they're very good defensively. I think Saka is a very interesting one that I don't have, that I'm taking on the 60%. I sent you something last week about his expected data, which has been really poor the last few games. So I'm not saying Saka's a bad option, everyone, but he's one that you can't have everyone. He's one that I'm taking on. I think just a quick call out on Martinelli there. I do think he's ready to explode. I think at some point he will take off. It's just trying to time that run. And that's it, really. I think you go cheap with Gabriel, but you take the risk on minutes, or you pay the money for Saliba.
Yeah, and little quick one as well. If you've got David Raya, he will not be playing this week because he can't play against Brentford. So,
but don't be fooled by Ramsdale playing, because it's literally just because of parent club. Don't see Ramsdale playing and go, "Oh, I'll go Ramsdale." No.
Yeah, exactly that. The fixtures afterwards is just for me. I think the fixtures for the next four are. I mean, you could take it up to game week 22. Are they're really, really, really good. I think even doubling up on a defender wouldn't be a bad thing.
I agree.
Because
a lot of people have. A lot of the good
Brentford have been all right, but only all right. Wolves at home can't score. Luton away, can't score. Aston Villa away, unsure. That's a fairly hard fixture. Brighton at home, can't defend. Brighton can't defend. Liverpool away, that's obviously the very tough fixture. But there's always goals in that game, by the way. And then the run after that is West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Forest, and then we play Liverpool again. So
my issue is they're a very good side, and like you said, they're very good defensively. And as we've touched upon, we think you should target the defence, because my opinion is their attack is great and they can score 4 or 5 goals. But who? That's my issue. It's so spread.
I mean,
Jesus, Nketiah, Martinelli, Odegaard, Trossard, Havertz.
If you've got someone in your team like I do, called like someone like a Bruno or a Son, okay? If you wanted to go Son to Saka or Bruno to Saka, that is not a bad move. It's not a bad move at all.
I agree, but
because it's a
I
set
have
and forget.
Son over Saka based on bit of a talisman, captain. He's up top, kind of the main man. That's the only reason why. We know he's on pens. The whole sharing pens thing gives me the ick a little bit, and it kind of sums up Arsenal in a way of they're trying to portray this. We'll give pens to whoever we want, but that's not great for FPL. We want a nailed penalty taker, and the whole spreading penalties thing also reeks of we're going to spread all of our goals around as well. And if we can catch a piece of who's going to get these Arsenal returns, then you're going to get loads of points. But good luck. Trossard's going to get loads of minutes. He's been every time he comes on, he scores. Martinelli's going to get rested. So
bit of a change up one. I want us to do a definite, and I've written down Saliba. Really, I think he's the best.
I think that's the best
Arsenal.
option.
I think he's the best option. And then a differential pick for us. Differential pick. What we're going to go for?
A differential at Arsenal. I'm thinking either Zinchenko or Martinelli or Nketiah. I don't love Nketiah, so I would go Zinchenko or Martinelli.
Should we go Zinchenko?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's pretty nailed now, mate. I think he's pretty nailed.
Okay. Aston Villa are next. Now, Aston Villa is interesting because I firmly believe that their run has come to an end. Okay.
I agree.
And there's a player who's in a lot of teams called Matty Cash, who is on the chopping block for me. Okay. Now, bear with me when I say that. Okay. I have got him in. I bought him in for 4.6. He's worth 5.2, and I could return 4.9 from him. Okay. Now, I personally do not see in their run of fixtures a clean sheet for up until game week 18. Okay. But game week 18 is massive. Because it solves so many of my and a lot of other teams' problems. Okay. Because game week 18, if you go into that with Matty Cash, Diaby, Watkins, you're going to get a hell of a lot of points.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because do you keep a player for 5 bad game weeks because of one? Do you know what I mean? Yes, if you said to me right now, Aston Villa don't keep a clean sheet in game week 18, Cash is coming out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's one goal against them. One goal. And the whole reason I've kept him for 6 weeks is ruined.
And just thinking about it, they're probably even money to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Sheffield United at home? Yeah,
maybe 5 to 6. Maybe 5 to 6.
You're about right. Yeah.
So
I agree. It's a coin flip on if it's worth.
And the others. Just I'm not going to say whether Tottenham, Bournemouth, Man City,
Bournemouth,
Arsenal.
Possible.
It is away from home.
Yeah, Bournemouth were very good against Newcastle.
And then Brentford. There's personally, I think there is a 50-50 chance. I think there is. I can see one.
No, I get that.
Maximum one.
He should, or he's very close to getting an attacking return. He's still putting up data attacking wise, but I understand what you're saying. You don't want to get a defender in just purely to rely on returns because you need the clean sheets. He's an interesting one. I'm on the fence about him. I have got midfielders queuing up to get into my team, hence why I'm sacrificing DRB. So I don't really want to sacrifice to Villa because of game week 18. But I can completely understand why you're saying that. So yeah, I think like you said, the other thing I really want to mention about Villa, which is quite important, is they're similar to us in that they're trying to balance everything and trying to balance Europe. Where they're very different to us is their 11 is pretty much the same every week. And that's why I'm so invested in Villa. Part of the reason I'm so invested in them is we know their team. Every single week we know their team. And every single week I guarantee, as a Brighton season ticket holder, I get the Brighton team wrong. Every week. Because it's so different. And Villa's you can name every single week. How can they keep playing the same 11 and keep playing in Europe? It's mad. It's incredible.
That's actually a worry, really.
A little bit, fitness-wise. But you know who's going to be on that team sheet. I know Diaby's nailed. And that's, again, Diaby's going to be leaving with a heavy heart. He's not the player I need to go. But, yeah, I can't carry forward three Villa. So I think that's where we are. I've got Watkins, you haven't. Again, I've got a lot of value tied up in him. If you'd have played the wild card when I did, you'd have him as well. But I'd have done what you did. If I didn't play the wild card, you'd miss the boat now. So it is what it is. I have him. I've got a lot of value tied up in him. I might as well keep him.
I think that he's still the best pick for their team.
Yeah, I think so. He's a solid option. And even when he doesn't score, he gets chances. You see the chance he missed last week, when last Prem game, he missed an absolute sitter. He's always creating chances.
I think it's Villa attackers that we'd want. So it's Watkins and then probably Diaby as your differential pick.
I think the three I have are the three best. I'm not saying that was big-headed, but I agree in that I would target Diaby and Watkins over Cash, definitely. They've been a bit sus defensively, for sure.
Yep. Next, we've got Bournemouth.
Do you want to do the same thing as we did, differential or have we done it differential and?
Yeah, so I've done Watkins as the main one and Diaby as differential.
Differential, perfect.
Yeah. I think that's the obvious pick, really. So, and then Bournemouth.
Bournemouth is all about Solanke.
Okay.
Give me another player.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really.
You can throw in a differential if you want, but it's a bit pointless. But what
I'm not
going
to write one down if I don't need to.
Honestly, I mean, I'll go through percentage zone in a minute, but it's all about Solanke. And what I would say about that is he is a viable option. He's not someone I'm going to bring in because just doesn't quite excite me enough. Like Isak's exciting, Darwin's exciting.
Can I just make a point? Can I just make a point? We both are playing kind of fluid 3-4-3, 3-5-2. Okay, that's our formations. Now he is perfect for that. Okay, and the reason why he's perfect for that is that he can sit on the bench for the hard fixtures. And have a look at game week 16. He's away at United.
18 is okay, and this week is okay.
Well, mate, I personally, he's top of my list.
That's fine.
For replacements for Nketiah, he is top of my list.
Yep, he's nailed. He's on penalties. Their fixture run's really good. They've got Sheffield United away, Villa at home, Palace away, United away, Luton at home, Forest away. Good fixture run, including Sheffield United and Luton, who, with respect, are the two worst teams in the league. And he was very good against Newcastle. Scored twice. Like I say, he's a good player. And again, when I talk about like Son, your talisman, he's the talisman. Arsenal are a team that share returns. We'll come on to Brighton in 1 second. They're a team that share returns. If they score 2 goals, I could guarantee you Solanke will be part of those 2 returns.
Yeah. I agree.
It's all him. You go with him. There's no one else. It's quite interesting, actually. Their highest owned player is Solanke in the whole team, 3.8%. Their highest owned defender is 0.2%, and their highest owned midfielder is 0.4%. So literally, it's Solanke or nothing. And even him, mate, he's a differential. It's 3.8%.
Yeah.
That will go up, by the way. That will go up.
It would 100% go up. And look, when we're picking someone of that standard, when we look at the next 1, 2, 3, 4, well, me up until game week 19 when I'll be wildcarding, I expect 6 game weeks. I expect 3 returns.
3 goals, an assist, maybe. Yeah.
3 returns.
And if I said that to you, 3 goals and an assist, you're saying thanks very much. Cheers.
Exactly. Exactly. And I just hope that I spike him on the weeks when he's in my team.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, for me, game week 18 is really good because he's got Forest away. Again, another really good reason to get him in my team. And it's just about thinking about when do I need him. Now, he's got Sheffield United this week.
Yeah, exactly.
So I might need... I've got 2 transfers, okay? So he fits my team very well to bring him in. There is a chance
as well.
There is a chance, honestly, there is a chance that I take a hit this week.
Ooh, first hit of the season.
And do 3 transfers.
Yeah, okay.
And look, I've been aggressive by holding on to my wild card, okay? And in order to make these plays work, I think there might be...
You need to take a hit.
No. However,
could pay off. I'm not saying
it really could pay off.
Yeah.
Because Nketiah is more than likely not going to play. So if my hit person is playing, is doing Nketiah to Solanke,
yeah,
1 goal and it's sorted.
I agree. Yep.
So,
and then you've got to play a longer term that's better than Nketiah anyway. So no, fine. Don't hate it. It's more of a question.
But that's the decision that I'll make between now and 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah. Brentford.
So we're just going to write down Solanke.
Yeah. There's literally no differential.
Brentford.
Yeah.
Brentford.
We start with Mbeumo.
So
we start with Mbeumo.
The Twitter community and the creator community, that Brian Mbeumo fire has never gone out, but it got turned down a lot. Okay?
Yeah. He's had an interesting journey so far this season.
There is currently a barrel of lighter fluid that is going to go on.
Personally, I think it's warranted as well.
Okay, right.
And the reason is, well, I've got a bit of a history with him as well because he was my tip pre-season and I want to watch out for. I had him in my team.
We all know about it. Fucking hell.
I had him in my team. I love him. I slightly regret taking him out, but I only had to take him out because 1, he started to play fullback. He didn't look quite so good. Their fixtures turned. So I made about 4.4 million on him then. Sold him. Kind of wish I didn't because he's still been hauling. But I'm jumping over myself to get him back in. And the main reason is, well, there's so many reasons, but he's nailed. He's playing very attacking. He's on penalties. He's, again, we talked about this before, their talisman. And I think you're better having a Mbeumo who's a talisman than a Diaz who might come good, might not play. Who's a huge talent, by the way, but he's not the talisman. And more importantly, the fixtures. So you don't have to go this week, by the way, listeners. You can if you want to beat the price rise, which is pretty inevitable with the sounds of it. But you don't have to. He's got Arsenal at home, and Arsenal got the best defence in the league. So I'm probably not going to go this week. But after that, Luton at home, unreal. Brighton away, it's not necessarily an easy fixture, but we haven't kept a clean sheet all season. So from an attacking point of view, it's fine. Sheffield United away, unbelievably good. Villa at home is fine. They haven't kept a clean sheet in a while. We talked about earlier how the defence isn't great. Yes, he blanks, and that's something you have to consider. But after the blank, it's going to be, assuming the double, Wolves at home, double, Forest at home. Like, he could go mad in those fixtures.
Yeah, so for me personally, he's coming in. Okay, he's coming in. I just don't think that he goes... that he comes this week. Okay, my main reason why is this is my hit decision. Okay, so Matoma out. Okay, and Mbeumo in. Okay,
yeah.
My other one that's possible to come out is Bruno. Okay,
yeah.
Bruno out, and then people are probably thinking, why the hell is Bruno still in your team? Well, he is, and deal with it.
It's mainly because you have a wild card and you didn't really need to take him out.
At any
Basically.
point, I didn't need to take him out. Okay, and Bruno has got Everton away this week, which is great. I think that's a fine fixture for him.
But they'll
And
be up for it after everything that's happened. They'll be bad.
And Palmer in, and Mbumo in. Okay, so I've saved a lot of money there. By the way, I've saved an awful lot of money. Okay, defenders. Okay, I'm looking at trips.
Fine.
Because that's where my money can go to.
Yep. Unless you pay more to go up from, Nketiah to Isak, or you got Darwin anyway. Nketiah to Isak or Watkins.
And that's where the other one. So Watkins, I'm happy to leave up until the game week 18, where I'm going to. And I just like Solanke.
Yeah, fair.
So
it's so important. We always say it's such a basic thing to say, but you've got to play your own game. And something important as I like Solanke is fine. I really like Mbumo, and I really like Palmer, and the other good options, but I really like them as well. So having players that you like is good. That's fine. I really like Diaz as a player, and that's partly the reason I brought him in, and it didn't pay off. But anyway, so as we talked about, great option. Others, Wiss is okay. He did all right for you. I just feel that bubbles burst a little bit. The other one I mentioned a little bit earlier is Flecken, and you can bring him in because his fixture run, as I've just talked about, is pretty good. And here's the important thing. With Mbumo, you have to bench him because he's an outfield player. With goalkeepers, if you have two goalkeepers, then it doesn't really count as a blank because you just bring the other goalkeeper in. So you can get through that easier with goalkeepers. So if I had loads of transfers to make, I'd be doing Flecken to Turner. A lot of people have Turner. He's not playing anymore. By the way, the other lad that's come in has looked really good. So I can't see Turner getting his place back anytime soon. So Flecken would be very interesting.
Flecken. I've already written down, by the way, my choices.
I don't love any of the defenders.
No. It's Mbumo and Flecken for me.
Yeah.
I think
Flecken's the differential.
The option of the potential double is the thing for a goalkeeper, which is massive.
And the good fixtures. There's got good fixtures.
I don't think that they're like. I think that bloody Bournemouth are better, but they are good.
Yeah. From 14 to 21, they're good. Either side of that, but 14 to 21, they're pretty good. Okay. Seagulls.
So I don't need to talk at the moment.
And I'll try and keep this short because obviously I get a bit carried away about my own side. Goalkeepers ignore. We flip-flap most games. Completely ignore. I would go so far as to say defenders ignore. Ignore all of them. We haven't kept a clean sheet all season. Why would you buy into a defence that hasn't kept a clean sheet all season? And where'd you go? Dunk's injured. Stupiñán's injured. Where the hell did you go? Good luck. So let's go straight on to midfielders. That didn't take long, did it? Midfielders, I would say the two standouts there are obviously Mitoma and Adingra. Mitoma is slightly more nailed, but I wouldn't even describe any player as nailed because it's Brighton. Mitoma's had 2 games where I love De Zerbi, but he's so unpredictable. He's almost a bit like prep roulette. Mitoma doesn't play, then he comes on at half time. He's done that twice. He's now got his knock, which we need to see how bad it is. He's ruled out. I trust Andy Naylor with my life. And he's ruled out against Nottingham Forest. So Andy Naylor is our correspondent. He works for Athletic and never gets it wrong. And he said Mitoma's definitely out for Saturday. So we need to see how long that is. We'll hear from De Zerbi on Friday. I like Mitoma. He's a good player. But that's a possibility. But he's 35% owned now. That's too high. That will come down. With the injury, with the fact that our fixture run is a bit average, with the fact that people are now realising how much we rotate, the fact that people are realising we haven't won it. By the way, it's gone a bit under the radar. We haven't won a Premier League game for 2 months.
No.
So that's
I don't think it's gone under the radar. I've noted. I think is it 5 weeks.
Yeah, and look, there's a reason for that because we've got 10 key injuries and we're trying to balance European football. In a normal season without any injuries, no European football, it wouldn't be happening for 100%. But we have to deal with what we've got, and that's the reality. So, Adingra as a differential, that would be the one I'd put forward to you as the differential. He's looked really good. I know at Everton he was poor. We were there. He was shocking. I agree. Since then, he's been quality. He was brilliant at Ajax, got a goal and an assist. He got a great goal against Liverpool. He got a great goal against Sheffield United. He's 5 million. I can't use the word nailed, I'm afraid, because it's Brighton. But he's in our first choice 11 and he's 1% owned. He's a good player and he's 5 million. So definitely an option as a differential. Matoma, proceed with caution, really. And then, João Pedro, God, I could talk about him for 20 minutes. If he's nailed, he's an unbelievable option. He's the opposite of nailed. He just can't go there. He's a bit like a death sentence. Like, he's almost like an addiction, João Pedro. You go, oh, what about, Welbeck's out, Ferguson's out. Oh, what about João Pedro? Doesn't start. How does he not start?
Do you want to try heroin? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's like that. Oh, João Pedro, 5.3, good player on penalties. Oh, tempting. Oh, Ferguson's injured. Oh, yeah.
Life's ruined. Fast forward. Life's ruined. Life's ruined.
Don't get it. Don't just don't get it.
I've got another analogy. It's like a hooker.
Yeah. As tempted as you might be, it's not worth it. And that could definitely be our short for the week.
João Pedro is like a hooker.
Yeah, literally. And look, listeners, if he starts, he should be 8 million if he starts.
Fucking hell, we're only on B.
He should be 8 million if he starts, but he doesn't start, so ignore him. Ferguson, again, 6 million if he's fit and he's starting is a disgrace of a price. But again, you just can't trust him. You can't trust him. He's very injury prone. And the amount of people in the last few weeks, did you hear them? All the content creators, Ferguson's down now. He's a great option. Doesn't start.
Yeah.
What?
I must
what?
Like, slightly FPL away from this. I've really thought he's looked really average this year so far.
Do you know what the thing is? He when he has a good game and he gets involved, he's brilliant. I was at the Newcastle game at home. He scored a hat-trick. He was unbelievably good. One of the best performances of the year. But he does have 60, 70, 80% of the games where he goes completely missing. Goodison Park was a good example. Completely missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
to the point where you wouldn't know he's playing.
He gets marked out the game. He gets no support. He's up there on his own. So no, I agree with you. But he's a big talent. But anyway, let's move on.
Do you know, in all seriousness, I can't pick the player that I'd want from Brighton at the moment.
No, the obvious one you'd have to say is Matoma. But again, proceed with caution. He's got an injury.
I'm not going to write a player down. I honestly do not think.
No, that's fair. It's an avoid.
I think that they are an avoid. I think do you know what? A differential will put a Dringer down because he's not gonna cost the world, but there is no nailed player that I would have.
A tiny mention of Van Heck. He's 4.0 million. He's our second choice defender now. A tiny mention for him. He's going to be starting 80 to 90% of the games at dud price. But the reason I haven't gone for him, we can't defend.
So don't go for him.
Yeah, no, I agree. If we keep 2 clean sheets in the next 3, he's close to your wildcard team. Put it that way.
Yeah, but your next 4 aren't terrible. But after that,
those back-to-back home games, we could. I'm not saying we will. Yeah. We could keep a clean sheet. Van Heck's improved a lot. Webster
long term, you're not terrible either.
Every time Webster plays, he's awful. But he might even get sold. He's been that bad. So he's gone. He's like 4th choice. So it's Van Hecke and Igor. He prefers Van Hecke in the Prem and Igor in Europe. Van Hecke is 80 to 90% nailed at 4.0. So he's not on my team, but I'm just saying at some point people are going to start realizing that Van Hecke could be a good option if we start to keep clean sheets. Let's move on.
Burnley. Now,
Charlie Taylor.
He's there. He's top of the list. Okay. Now their fixtures are back-to-back home games of West Ham and Sheffield United. Okay. Then they've got Wolves away and Brighton away, and then Everton at home, Fulham away. Okay. If they're going to stay up, we're going to know by Christmas. Okay. And so basically, if Company has got not a career in management. That sounds really, really, really harsh because it's not
No, I
unlike
understand what you're saying.
like we've seen enough of these managers, Gerrard, Lampard, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Not get second chances.
Yeah.
Frank Lampard's had 3 chances, and it runs like this. That if they can get from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, if they can get 12 points. 12 points, like I think 12 points is a realistic target. They go from being currently nailed to go down to in with a shout. Okay, mainly because of the fact that Everton have had their points deduction. So Charlie Taylor is the obvious pick.
Yeah,
Their
4 million,
defense has
price,
looked
good option, good
the
fixtures.
defense has looked shaky. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything in attack?
No.
There's nothing.
No. None of them are owned at all. So the highest owned midfielder is 0.3%. Agui 4.3, nothing. And the highest owned forward is Foster, who's away with mental health issues, isn't he? There's no one. Koleosho 0.1, and Dooney 0.2.
What's Jay Rodriguez?
No one.
No, I'm not.
He's 0.2% owned. He is 5.3. Started the last 2 games. That's his only 2 starts the whole season.
But it's because of these mental health issues for Viggy, isn't it?
It's Taylor first option. If you had to pin me down for a second option, it's that Bayer, who was injured and now he's back again.
Yeah.
There's no one else.
Yeah, but you're not going to double up on the defence.
No, and of course.
It's
if you're
Taylor.
One or the other, go for Taylor. Yeah,
it's Taylor and
I've like I say, I've got Taylor, and there's a lot of games. I say a lot. Few games. I might start him.
Yeah, and just think about just goalkeeper for a second. Is it a 4.5 goalkeeper they have?
Yeah, Trafford, but there's better options. You go Sanchez or you go Fleckendey.
Just a thought. Trafford's looked horrendous.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Who's their backup?
Yeah, that's something that may come good. Muric 4.3. Even their backup isn't 4 million.
No.
There's nothing there. Nothing there.
Sorry, Burnley. I tried my best for you there. But,
You did. Your heart was in the right place.
Yeah. Chelsea.
Chelsea's a really interesting one because they started the season really poorly.
I'm writing. I think I could write 5 players down.
There's loads now. Yeah. What I would say, the most important thing to take from Chelsea, in my opinion, is 2 words: game week 16. Ignore till game week 16 because they've got Newcastle away, Brighton at home, United away. From 16, it's outrageous.
However, can I just make a point?
Yep.
Newcastle away. Newcastle have got how many injuries at the moment?
Yeah, I know. It's still a tough place to go, but I understand what you're saying.
And then they've got Brighton, who can't keep a clean sheet.
Brighton at home is a good attacking fixture, not a good defensive fixture.
Can't keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
And then they've got Man United away, which isn't terrible.
You just don't know there, do you? Look what City did to them. You just don't know. Look what we did.
And then it is absolutely
outrageous.
Carnage. Yeah. Carnage.
All the way until game week 25, by the way.
So for me,
so they run from 16, just really quickly. Everton away, Sheffield United at home, Wolves away, Crystal Palace at home, Luton away, Fulham at home. The only tough game is Liverpool away in game week 22. Then they're straight back on the horse. Wolves at home, Palace away. It's an amazing fixture till mid-Feb. So that's why Palmer's coming in, and for me, and Colwell's definitely coming in, and maybe one more.
Coming in.
Colwell, yeah, it's gonna be. I've planned Colwell for Lamptey. When his feet is nailed, 4.6. Cheers, done.
Yeah, no, I don't.
If I had the budget, if I had the extra 0.7, I'd go Reece James. But he's a little bit, not quite a hooker like Joe Pedro. He's more of a stripper. Reece James.
So he's not gonna break the bank. He's not gonna break the bank.
What I mean. You know exactly what I mean by that. When you go for Reece James, he's exciting, but he will let you down, and you regret it.
But it wouldn't end your marriage, would it?
No, no. Not like João Pedro.
But João Pedro could potentially
João
end your
Pedro
marriage.
would ruin your life. Yeah. No, yeah. So
yeah.
we know.
And you'd end up with
anyone
herpes.
that's played, anyone that's played FPL the last few years knows what Reece James is capable of. Is keeping him fit. If we can keep Reece James fit the whole season, he's the first name on the team sheet.
You know what a stripper's capable of, but it's how much they're going to give you. How much are they going to give you? Is it a no touchy, or are they going to let you have the world?
Oh God, let's not go there. So options for me. By the way, the goalkeeper is a huge option. Huge option at 4.6. I may not go there. I may go there. I know Andy's going there. Oh, he could be on your wild card, Sanchez. He's a huge option at 4.6. Sanchez. I don't love him as a goalkeeper, but he's an option.
No,
Sanchez
I just think I'd rather have Colwell than him.
I agree, and that's the route I'm going down.
And I think we're gonna have three. We're gonna have three Chelsea players, probably. So therefore, or somewhere close to it. Now, obviously, it's gonna be a struggle for people to get that in because of not many people have got wildcards active between those fixture dates.
Yeah.
So therefore, you kind of. I don't think I'll be going there. I'll be very surprised if I go there. I think I'd rather go to Flecken just because of that extra fixture. But yeah.
Really quickly, options for me are Sanchez, Colwill, James, Palmer. I have to throw Sterling into the mix. He's been playing really well.
Yeah.
And
it's just price, isn't it, for Sterling? Don't mention Jackson.
Okay, fine.
Nkunku is the one.
He's coming back.
Honestly,
Nkunku's the one, but we need to wait and see. But yeah,
I've written Palmer as the obvious choice. My next one is the differential is Nkunku. Nkunku. I think that he will be starting.
Yeah.
And him, Sterling, Palmer could be really good. Really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah. So next,
Palace come. Defended pretty well this year. Their defence has been pretty solid. I'd say that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going there probably this week with Eze.
Did you hear what James described them as at the moment, Palace? And I really liked it. He just said they're a team stuck in second gear.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. He said they'll get you to the destination, which is staying in the league. But they're not going to do
every year, but they don't go anything.
They're not going to do anything exciting. And I think they're waiting for a little bit of cash injection, which meant to be coming. And they might roll the dice with Hodgson going at the end of the year.
Yeah.
They'll roll the dice for someone. They've done it in the past for Vieira. It's not worked. They've done it for oh my God, the Dutch guy. Oh my God.
Oh, De Boer.
Frank De Boer.
The worst manager in the history of the Premier League.
Didn't work. Okay.
Yeah. 6 games, 6 losses, sacked. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I really quickly wanted to ask you a question I was going to ask you earlier about Johnston. He's done amazing for you. Amazing. You've been quite lucky with him.
No. Not lucky. Not lucky. No.
He's the same thing as Flecken. I got unlucky with Flecken. You got lucky with Johnston. Come on. We didn't know how good Palace's defence was going to be. However, we're going to gloss over that. The next 3 fixtures are great. From 16, they're awful.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna wait to your wild card, or are you going to go early? Because you're playing your wild card in 19. From 16 to 19, they've got Liverpool at home, Man City away, Brighton at home, Chelsea away. There is 0 clean sheets there.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that in 16 you'll probably be looking to go Flecken.
Well, I'm going to go Turner to Flecken.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, sorry, Turner to Flecken. Yeah, exactly. And then Flecken can play. What I'm saying is if you left it, Turner's not playing. Johnson's got Liverpool, Man City, Brighton, Chelsea. There's no clean sheet there.
No.
So you're playing a goalkeeper for 4 game weeks in a row that has no clean sheet. That's what I was saying. For the next 3, they're great. That's why I'm bringing in Eze. But then they really turn badly.
But
something
in
you
18,
really need to stare at.
But in 18, they have Brighton at home.
Yeah, but it's an impossible clean sheet.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time we didn't score. We were both teams to score every week, team, by the way. Back at a 3-1 on. Every single game we've had this season has been both teams to score. Every single game. The last three were literally 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 6-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-1. That's our season.
Mm-hmm.
Every single game is both teams to score. So we will concede, but we will score. So it's almost we're in the top 3 of XG creators in the whole league. So we will score. I'm 90% sure of that. So you might fluke a clean sheet, but it's very unlikely.
The other person is Areola for me, from Turner to Areola. But all of this, and that's why I'm saying to you that I might have to take a hit, because a lot of my team needs changing, and I've not got those. There is more than one transfer per week that needs changing in my team.
Yeah. And I do think, all I'm saying is, I do think that's a situation you probably need to. The fixture's that bad. I think that's probably a situation you need to look at. That's all.
Yeah, because ultimately, if I take a 4-point hit, well, that goalkeeper is more than likely going to score more than 4 points than Johnston in those 4 weeks. So it's just that I could potentially pocket the cash from Johnston, but ultimately, because I've gained quite a bit of cash, I think he might go up to 4.8. Is that right? He might go up to 4.8, I think. So
yeah, possibly. Yeah.
But so it's a changing thing.
Obvious pick is Eze. That's where I'm going this week, because they've got a good fixture over the next 3. As I mentioned to you earlier, it improves my 11, and I can go from him to Palmer.
I'm not going to go for someone that I then need to transfer out, because I've got quite a few fires to put out.
Yeah, I don't really. I have a few spare transfers because I'm up my sleeve. Obviously, it's different because I play wildcard, but I can afford to do it. So it's quite an aggressive play that I'm doing, but I'm happy with it. And that's all you can do in FPL, is be happy with your decision, and that's all you can do. Obvious ones, there's a differential. Would you go Guehi or
Guehi?
Guehi.
Yeah, Guehi, I think he's really good.
I think Anderson's gone up too much.
I think he's a really good player as well. If Liverpool was looking at a defender, I would be really happy with us looking at him. By the way.
Yep.
Everton, by the way, can we just have a 2-second silence for them? Are you ready? Yeah, done. So I
don't break the rules, mate. Don't break the rules, and you don't get deduction.
Yeah.
I haven't got a point of deduction. It is harsh, but it is harsh. I can understand it. When City are getting away with murder, I get it.
19.5 million overspend during an unprecedented global pandemic is like, how many people are overdrawn on their accounts? Loads. Ultimately,
it is harsh.
That's basically what Everton were, is that they were overdrawn. Now yes, I agree, they were aware of it, but they've actually been really transparent with regards to the Premier League. And the Premier League accepted that. And I'm not saying that, you hold your hands up, then you should get away with it. But what I mean is, look at what Man City did. Man City delayed so much that it then passed the time. And shock horror, these allegations of 115 came out before the Everton thing. So that's how long Man City
it stinks of City have got better lawyers. Stinks of it.
Yeah.
Everton are a club at the bottom. No one really cares. It stinks of that. But the issue is, though, and why we could spend a bit of time there talking about the deduction, is there's not that many good options, mate. Really. And I would say if there is,
because their team is turd.
Yeah, there's no one in midfield. I mean, you could say Decore, but he's more expensive than Palmer. So why would you do that?
Yeah, no.
So no, and then Calvert-Lewin is just a no. He just can't stay fit. He can score some goals.
But if he does, and
if he does, it's 5.8. I know,
but the fixtures are amazing.
You just go Solanke. You know, what I mean, there's just better options. The defense is where it's at. Branthwaite, I want to definitely pull up because he's 4 million and he's nailed and he's had a really good season. He's played 90 minutes. He didn't play the first 2 games. He's had 90 in every single game since. He's nailed. He's still 4.0. He hasn't gone up in price. My issue with them is their fixture on is terrible, quite a lot. They never really get a good run. So, I definitely want to put forward Branthwaite, and you have to put forward Mikolenko because he scored in back-to-back games. He's probably overperforming. Don't get me wrong, but he's got 8 points, 11 points, 9 points. Clean sheet against West Ham, goal against Brighton, and then goal and assist against Palace. You can't ignore that. So again, it's not for me. I'm going Colwill, but or Lascelles or whoever. But I don't think it's a stupid idea to go Mikolenko. He's very attacking.
Yeah. For me, it's Braithwaite, and then differential will be Mikolenko.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't go Pickford. You can just go Sanchez or Flecken. Or you can't go Pickford, really.
No, definitely not. Fulham, I don't think we need to spend too much time on these.
Is there anyone? Jesus Christ. Is there anyone?
Fulham.
The keeper, Leno? But again, he's 4.7. Sanchez, Flecken. No. I mean, some people I know are going for Leno, but no. And again, even Tim Reams, the highest owned defender, 1.6. 4.5, you'd go Colwell, Lascelles, Guehi, Gabriel. Do you know?
I just don't think that they return ever. I think that they're in very
Pereira's a really interesting one. Pereira took off last year. He was at everyone's team. He's done nothing.
Price. That was Price.
It was Price, but he's still only 5.4.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just a surprise. He's been very, very quiet this year. Pellegrini suspended, no interest. The strikers are all absolute toilet.
I'm just going to put a blank.
I'd love to talk about them. We've got time to talk about them. There's just nothing to say.
Yeah.
There's literally no one there.
Liverpool.
You can take the lead here.
Thank you. Liverpool. So, we are getting close to having a best 11. Okay, and what I mean by that is Alisson plays every week, Trent plays every week, Van Dijk plays every week. Then Konate and Matip seem to flip flop. And then at the moment, obviously, Tsimikas and Gomez seem to flip flop. Our midfield has usually got a combination of Szoboszlai and McAllister and one more, either a Jones, Gakpo, or something like that. Yeah, Gravenberch. Yeah. And then it seems to be a front three of Salah plays every week, and then the preferred ones would be Núñez and Diaz. This week is a worry, okay? And that's the reason why I might have to take a hit this week, is because Núñez and Diaz are both coming back from South America. Diaz has obviously gone through what he's gone through, and they never were playing at 12:30, and it's Man City, okay? The Man City.
Just quickly, when you say think about taking a hit, you're not considering taking Núñez out, are you?
No. I'm not taking them out, but I'm needing to bring in someone who plays that isn't Nketiah.
I thought you think I'd taken Núñez out because the three after that is Fulham, Sheffield United, Palace.
Yeah, I'll come on to that. I'm going to come on to that. So if Nketiah doesn't play and then Núñez doesn't play, then I'm 2 down. Now Bell hasn't been playing and he's on the bench, so then I'm really short. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Now the difference is it's Man City, and I think that we will just play our strongest team available, regardless of tiredness. And it's the Fulham at home, which is the following weekend, but we've got a European game in the week, I think.
Yeah, you will have, because we have.
Yeah, which I think
on the 30th.
Which is the Toulouse reverse fixture. I'm
in Athens, baby.
So the Toulouse at home we've got. So I think we're going to rest a lot of players for the Toulouse at home game. So I think we're going to expect our strongest team. I think
Against Fulham,
Simicast will play personally. The only reason why he might not is to really keep it tight. Okay, things to watch out for is Trent could get tore a new bumhole by Doku. That is Trent's worst nightmare, is someone running straight at him and just causing him nightmares. So I really do worry about that, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, after this game week, Liverpool is a joke. If we can manage to get a draw...
For three, but then it's average after that. United, Arsenal. It's average after that.
Yeah, but the 2 home games.
Yeah, the 2 home games. Yeah, but it's great for 3, average after that.
Liverpool didn't lose at home for like 4 years.
Yeah, a lot of their tough games are at home, to be fair. Yeah. It's not outstanding. It's not as good as Chelsea's run, but it's all right.
I think it's really good. I think it personally, I'd be wanting a minimum of 2 Liverpool players.
Yeah, 4 of those 5 tough games are at home. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So I'd want a minimum of 2 Liverpool players, minimum. So for me,
the problem is, like you mentioned, who? That's the problem.
But I've named the 2.
Salah and Nunes. Or Simicast. Simicast isn't nailed.
It depends. Okay. Now you've got a differential picks here. Okay.
Yeah.
Nunes is a little bit expensive for a differential pick, and there are some other options within Watkins and all that. Now I'm happy to take that risk because I think he's really explosive. Okay. I've also got Simicast, which again is really explosive. Okay, but he's 4.6. He is a problem that will need resolving around Christmas time. But I do have my wild
maybe
card,
before that. Everyone thought he was nailed, and you started Gomez, so he's not nailed. Simicast. He's 70% probably.
Yeah, I would agree with that. For me, honestly, in all seriousness, Dominic Szoboszlai.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I think his price is 7.
Yeah.
Is that right?
7.1. Yeah.
Yeah, 7. I struggle to see another player who's as much nailed in the Liverpool team as him.
I agree.
He's
probably
really
in your top 3. He's probably in your top 3 nailed players, 3 or 4.
Yeah. I think Salah, Szoboszlai, and Van Dijk, and Alisson. Sorry, Alisson.
Yeah, Alisson. Yeah.
So I mean, Alisson's not a terrible option. I wouldn't look at a team and go.
Is your defence worthy of a 5.6 million goalkeeper?
No, absolutely not. So, but it's not like I see people with Onana, who is top of the Premier FPL, and it makes me sick that he's in there.
Yeah.
Cool. For me, it's Szoboszlai, but I'm not going to blow my team up. So
Salah,
as a differential
we haven't said
pick,
a lot about Salah. If you don't have Salah on your team, then
you don't have. Well, James doesn't, and we love him.
He should.
And we love him.
With this fixture run, you need Salah. He's just gonna kill you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And he has already started to.
And by the way,
he's just going to end up smashing you. So to put him in.
How many goals does Salah get against Man United?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He hasn't returned. I'm giving him his assist against Spurs. He hasn't returned in 1 game, Luton away, all season. Like some of the hauls, 10 point, 15 point, 16 point, 16 point.
He's got the most double digit hauls in the league.
Have Salah, simple as that. Especially that fixture on. Have him, pay the money.
Yeah. So
Salah's the obvious one. Szoboszlai is the differential.
I think he's a little bit of a differential. I don't think.
I like it.
Talking about
60% owned. Yeah.
So okay.
Luton. Is there anyone?
No.
Literally no one.
I'm happy to move on. The fixture run's terrible, and they're going down.
Yeah, I had Morris for a bit, but I think it's a double. There's no one.
Man City.
It's an interesting one, this. And it's interesting because they're in the middle of a terrible fixture run, and that's why it's interesting. However, that fixture run naturally, because it's been so 16. Bad, really
16. 16. It's 16 is a
joke. However,
joke.
It is a joke, and there's no doubt it's a joke. The issue is, again, you've got to navigate the blank. And I have decided to navigate the blank already with Mbumo and Haaland. I don't really want 3. I want 1 sub. So I don't have room. As soon as I click the button and go Mbumo, I have no room for City players before game week 19.
I have already got Foden, and I'm not going to use a transfer to take him out. So for me, I'm going to go into it with 2, and the reason why I'm going to go into it with 2 is because I'm going to probably take out Haaland.
You're taking out Haaland, yeah, but you can because you're wildcarding him back in, yeah.
Because he's not worth. It's not worth anything to take him out. Yeah. I think that
you can just go to Watkins for 1 week.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Watkins, and I'm going to captain him for the week.
Yeah.
So because then it covers all the Watkins owners as well. So I can't honestly. I don't want to write down a differential option of Doku because I don't think that we can trust.
I don't hate him as a differential option. It's just City's such an interesting one because, again, it's still Pep Roulette. They're still not nailed, and it's just such a tricky one. Of like I said, I'm not going to go there before 19 because I just can't really afford to. But after
can I make a point? I think the fixtures get really good from next week.
Okay. Yeah.
That Tottenham defense is just destroyed.
That's fair. Yeah, I can understand why you're keeping Foden.
Is Romero back?
3 game back. I don't think so.
Nope, he's not. So Romero's out.
I understand that completely. Do you think that you'd buy them though?
Dyer.
Do you think you'd
Dyer?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Do you think you'd buy them?
Dyer. Oh no! I wouldn't be buying
but they're
them.
not a buy. They're a keep, but they're not a buy.
But it's a keep an eye on because I want to see who's playing. And
it's gonna kill me in game week 16 when they've got Luton away and game week 17 when they've got Palace at home. That's gonna hurt.
Do you know when their good fixture run starts? Would you ever look at a defender?
I would look at one, possibly. Yes. Who? No idea.
That's no problem.
No
defenders.
Idea. If you pay your money for Diaz and then he gets rested anyway, and you're like, what have I done? So, yeah, who'd you go for? That's the problem. Do you know a little tip, everyone?
Touch Edison.
Yeah. It will always let you down.
Because he will always let you down.
Yeah, he's a João Pedro.
We need no. He's not a João Pedro. He's not a João Pedro. He's like he's a MILF.
Oh God. What has this pod turned into?
He's a MILF.
We've got a hooker, a stripper, and now a MILF. Oh,
yeah, he's a MILF because on paper it should be a wow.
Yeah.
But in reality,
doesn't deliver. Oh God, let's move on. But yes, you're right.
Bit too clicky.
So yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, City's a really interesting one. So I think if you've got them, keep them. Like you've got Foden, but I don't think you should buy them until. I wouldn't blame people for buying in 16. I'm going to struggle not to, but then you have to. I'm not ruling out going for an empty bench in 18. I'm not ruling that out.
I'm going for an empty bench.
Yeah, I'm not ruling out an empty bench. I want one, but I'm not ruling out an empty bench and carrying forward 2 City and Brentford. 2 City, so Haaland and Mbumo and possibly one other City, but who? But probably Doku, I think, for me, if I'm buying.
I'm not going to write a differential down because there is no differentials. The only other person is potentially Alvarez because
he gives me the ick a bit though for some reason. But
trust me, he gives me the ick as well. That's why I've never had him.
He's definitely an option. I just think there's better strikers. Really quickly before we move on, they will be, and mark my word, game week 19 they will queue up. The FPL community will be going more mad for City players in game week 19 than they're going for in Bournemouth right now. Because their run is incredible and their double in 20 is going to be Sheffield United at home, Brentford at home. We think they're double in 20. So they're going to be crawling over each other to get 3 City in. So if you have 2 already, great, because you can just add 1. But I will have 3 City by game week 20.
Yep, fair enough.
Because the fixture run's incredible and they've got a double of... how can you not have 3 City with a double of Brentford at home, Sheffield United at home? You have to have 3 City. That's what I'm saying. Come 19... you'll be queuing up to get them
in. Yep.
Cool.
Decent. Right. Man United.
I want to ask you about Bruno. Is he pretty sure he's coming out this week?
No, next week, sorry.
Okay.
Because they've got Everton away and
you might as well keep him. Okay.
And I may as well keep him for that.
One that I had a bit, I had him a wild card and I've taken him out, is Højlund. I think he's one that is waiting to explode. I say explode. I don't think he's quite as capable as Nunes, but he's got how many goals in the Champions League? 6?
Something like that.
Something like that. He is close to figuring things out. Okay, but let's put it this way. I think next season he's going to score 20 to 25 goals.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I just think he's close to coming good. He's close to coming good.
But that's next year.
I agree it's next year. So I do think this year is kind of a figure it out kind of season. One would say he's missed some sitters. He's been a bit unlucky. He's got into good positions. There was a couple. I had him for Sheffield United away and he was a couple of worldy saves. I think there was an offside goal. He's close. At 7 million at some point, and it could be this season or next season, at some point he will laugh at 7 million, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We just don't know when that's going to be, and we don't need to do it yet. We need to find out first and then bring him in. But at some point, he'll laugh at 7 million.
Little bit of things that I can say from the inside. It is imminent, the takeover.
Okay, yeah.
The takeover completely changes the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason... not completely changes it, sorry. I think the Saudi deal would have sorted that out. I think it shakes things up, okay? When Gary Neville was saying about how everyone's kind of petrified about their jobs and all of that kind of thing, I can feel it. I can see how people would be really scared and really worried and, and then you start doubting yourself and second questioning yourself and all that kind of stuff. So... I think that from what I know, the deal is imminent. It's going to happen. Everyone was thinking it was going to happen over the international break, really. And the manager's got a lot of support, an awful lot of support. So, and I think it's about targeting players that he really trusts. So they're the only people that I would be looking at. So Højlund is one of them. The fans love him. Love him. And then
the tiny thing I would say about him is I know he's got a slight knock now. He's got a muscle injury. He never gets to 90 minutes. He's got to 90 minutes in his last 4 games. He's got to 78, 72, 62.
He came to the club though with a back injury. That was very, very, very
muscle injury he's got,
which was severe, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The other two we have to talk about quickly about Bruno and Rashford. Rashford's done nothing all season. I had both of them on my team at the start. Everyone had Rashford. It's nothing. Bruno's ticked along actually. I missed his haul against Burnley because I decided to summon, which was stupid. He got his goal against Fulham, and then surprisingly, I thought he'd actually do well against Luton at home, but he didn't. But he's got 55 points. For someone that's apparently bombed, it's not ridiculous. And
but
I've said this before in previous
pods.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. And he's not a great option, and there's better options out there. He will never ever be a terrible option for someone that's that involved. Someone that's captain, someone that's on penalties, someone that's on free kicks, someone that I really rate. I think he's a key player for United.
Do you know if
he's never going to be an awful option.
If you had to do a team at the start of the year that you could never do a transfer from, he would be a really, really, really good person to put in your team. Yeah. Someone like him, Saka, they are gonna tick along, and you hope to catch their big hauls, but ultimately they're really not that explosive.
Yeah, no, I get that. Just having a quick look from game week 18, it's not completely out of the question I go there. Their fixture run from 18 to 30 is very, very good.
Yeah, I think it's
very good.
Yeah, but it just gives us another 4 weeks to really work out who is their best options.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw's back in training. And we can take it from there really. But yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying really is don't give up on Bruno. And I'll be pretty confident he'll be back in my team at some point this season.
So are we going to go Bruno?
I like him. He needs to be in one of the. Who's the obvious? I think Bruno has to be the obvious, doesn't he? In there?
Yeah, he is. Okay.
Differential. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Hoyland. We talked a bit about Hoyland. It's probably him.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
I'm going to start with. I hate them.
Thanks very much for all you Newcastle listeners that have been previously watching the pod, and now you've all switched off. I don't hate them. I've been up there a couple of times, and the atmosphere is incredible. It's great. It's a great fan base.
You're using those in clouds. I hate them as a purchasing pick at the moment. I think that they've got 2 fixtures that are really hard.
Fixture runs average. Really average.
You saw what Kieran Trippier was saying at the end of the Bournemouth game, which is how can we win when we've got no players, which I agree with. So Chelsea are on fire. Man United are the most informed team in the Premier League. I know it's hard to believe, but they are. So they're really hard fixtures. And then they're away at Everton, who've just been docked 10 points for what we would class as not a lot. So there's a potential for them, and then they've got Tottenham away. So I think their fixtures are a little bit difficult. I'm looking at Trippier because Trippier gets an assist, and instead of it being 5 points, it's 8 points because he's guaranteed to get
all 12 with a clean sheet.
Yeah. Which
and we have to say that their defence in general is very good. Very good. Very solid.
But their defence is very good when they've got their very good players.
Yeah,
they don't have their very good players. Shaw didn't play in the week. I mean, he was injured. So
Botman's
if Shaw's
a big loss for them.
If Shaw's injured, who else plays?
Yeah, Burns injured, Botman's injured. Yeah, I get it. They're far from full strength, and they got battered by Bournemouth. By the way, I watched that game. Should have been 5-6.
It should have been 5-6. Yeah. The only one for me, I think the obvious choice is Isak.
Yeah. With Callum Wilson's injury, Wilson's out for 6 weeks, so that's why. And you have to mention Gordon. He's not a terrible.
And 6 weeks is 10 weeks is 10 game weeks in fantasy.
Yeah.
Because 6 weeks takes us up to January.
Yeah.
Game week 21.
Yeah.
Game week 21. Yeah. So yeah. And then maybe Gordon. Yeah. I think the price.
He's quite influential. He does a lot of the build-up stuff. He's not going to score a load of goals, but he'll win a penalty. He'll get an assist. And the price. Yeah. And he's utterly nailed. And to have a player that's that nailed for that price is never terrible. It's never terrible. I've got him. I'm not in a hurry. Yeah, exactly. I'm not. Is he a buy? Probably not. Is he a sell? Probably not. He's just a keep. He's a keep.
Forest. Now they've got really good fixture run, and I know we've talked a lot about Solanke before, and Awani is the next at that level at that price range. He's the next best, but possibly. I think there is a little bit of a gap.
It's quite interesting because there was these stats earlier on the season about he couldn't stop scoring. That was the first 3 games, and he then went on a run from game week 4 to game week 11 where he didn't do anything, and then he scored against West Ham last game. So I think Solanke's better than the one you already do. And his yellow flags must be he must have a knock. But I can understand you mentioning him. He should be mentioned, but Solanke's better. If
he's their obvious.
6.4,
he's their obvious pick.
Pay another $1 million for Isak, or at that price go Solanke. But yeah, the other one people are mentioning is Gibbs White, but not for me. Not for me. I've heard some content creators go Gibbs White, but again, if you're going Gibbs White over Palmer, you're just dumb. Like he's 0.5 more than Palmer, just go Palmer.
Yeah.
Go Eze. Eze's 0.4 more than Gibbs White, go Eze.
Their pictures are really good, by the way.
But you wouldn't go near their defence either, would you?
Because you just go someone like Braithwaite, who I think is
and then the obvious one that we all owned was Turner, and now he's not playing.
And their other keeper is 4.5, right?
Yeah, it's pointless. Yeah, we don't think we need to say much about Forest.
Sheffield United.
We don't need to say much about them either. There is a tiny thing I want to mention. Is a player that might go back up, and a player that was humongously owned at the start of the season. I think I had him. I think you had him. Who then got injured. Who's now back. George Baldock. He is the only defender on the game at 3.8. So all I'm saying is, the only one. So all I'm saying is, if you do a little draft and you've got 3.8 left to spend on a defender, it's not a disaster. I'm not saying Sheffield United are terrible defensively, but you've got someone there that plays every week. He's the cheapest defender on the game, and he will play. And the fixture run's okay. It's not a disaster.
And if you've got this week at home to Bournemouth, then
if you need to play him, you can play him at home to Bournemouth, or you can play him at home to Luton. Yeah. So I'm not saying he's a great pick, but he's the cheapest player on the entire game. And you don't often get the cheapest player on the entire game that plays. And now he's back from injury. Yeah, exactly. And he's played 90 the last two, and he actually got an assist against Wolves. So, that's the one. All I'm saying, like I say, let's say, Ches, you're making moves and you go, I've got 3.8 for a defender. Your initial reaction is, oh no, I'm short. If you really liked your plans, you can just go Baldock. He's a great player.
And also, he's your 15th player. So realistically, he's
blanking most weeks. Play him against really easy sides. Yeah, he's an option. Yeah. There's no one else. The other one's Archer.
The other one is Archer.
Yeah.
But
Archer is for the 3-5-2 players. Like you said, we're on a bit more of a fluid front eight. But there's a few out there that refuse to do that and want to pump their money into their first team, which is fine. Obviously, I've built up bloody 103.5 million in team value, so I can afford to go a bit more fluid. But for the people that are going 3-5-2, they all have Archer, and they're considering playing him this week. By the way, Bournemouth at home.
Don't blame him.
And they've got Luton at home in 19. So that's again, if you have to, look, Baldock might be on your wild card in game week 19. They're straight up against Luton at home. Baldock might be on.
I don't think he might be. I think he's probably will be.
Because he's a complete enabler. He's the cheapest player on the game. He's the only one at 3.8. He's straight out the gate, Luton at home. As your dud defender, you're going to have a dud defender, aren't you? As your dud defender. Baldock Archer. Baldock Archer. Spursy.
Do you know what? That's what they are. They are becoming.
Honestly, the ones that said they were in the league. Jesus Christ, almighty. Spursy. Started the season amazingly. Got a bit lucky, let's be honest, like against Liverpool. Kind of riding the wave. And we knew they'd get found out.
A bit lucky against Liverpool.
They're still a good side. But I think it all came to a huge abrupt halt in that Chelsea game. Now, can they get over it? Has their confidence been dented? Have they got enough players to get over it? Like I said, Doggy, Romero, Van der Ven, Maddison, they've taken some big hits there. Plus confidence, plus losing. It's not any old side. It's Chelsea, their rivals. So that was a big wallop for them. That wasn't just a loss of a game. That was a big wallop.
They got injuries, suspensions, and a defeat. It was the worst possible evening for them. Yeah. And somehow
they came out of it with some moral victory. It wasn't really.
No, it was horrendous. It wasn't really. They went into work.
They tried hard.
They went into work that Monday, and they were like, "Well, that was shit, wasn't it?"
Yeah. They tried really hard, but they still had a shit day. But what I would say is I have Son, and I have no intention of selling him. And some people are talking about, is he as good without Maddison? Maybe not, but I don't think it detracts from him massively. Good player. He's their top man. He's their captain. He's on penalties. If they win a game, he's huge. He's heavily involved.
But
Midfielder player up top.
Madison probably won't be back till game week 15 at the earliest.
Yeah, but my gut feeling is I don't hate him without Madison. If I hated him without Madison, I'll take him out. I don't hate him without Madison. And they're going to concede goals because of Romero, Van der Ven, Adogi, etc. But I still think they'll score goals. They've still got Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski. They've still got there's some players on there. I know they haven't got Madison, and he's been exceptional. But
do we know when Madison's going to be back?
Sure, they said January, didn't they? I think.
That's a long time.
January. I think they said January. It is quite a long time. Yeah.
It is. So is it Son?
Son's the obvious one. Son's not a buy, but he's a keep.
And then I think the other one is Brennan Johnson for me.
Yeah, he's a very interesting differential because Richarlison, as we know, he's not very good. And is he going to get many minutes? Richarlison probably not. So they will probably be going Kulusevski, Johnson, Son.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson. Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
West
the
Ham.
other one we both have, by the way, is Porro. Mentioned Porro. When their fixtures turn and they get good, I'm keeping hold of him, obviously. He got his assist against Wolves. He's very attacking. It's actually really
he's just a keep. He's just a keep. He's not a buy. He's not a buy.
He's not a buy yet. When their fixtures get better, which is very soon.
15.
Give me 1 second. Is it 15?
15, yeah.
15. He's a buy in 15. Wow. Cool. The fixtures get so much better. Wow. Bloody hell. Yeah. And that's why I'm keeping Son. Because Jesus Christ. Looking at these fixtures, I'm holding Son till 33. Honestly. Mate, their last 5 games are Newcastle, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. They've had 4 in a row. Until that, unbelievably good. So all I'm saying is, game week 15, they're going to be buying Porro, 100%.
So is it not Porro and is it not Johnson and it's Porro?
Probably.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Probably.
West Ham, it's Areola, isn't it?
Areola, yeah, I have him, and I'm in no hurry to sell him. Yes, they haven't kept many clean sheets, but
do you expect it from a 4.3, 4.2
exactly?
goalkeeper?
And people over exaggerate, right? So if you concede like 1 goal in the last 5 games, then you conceded 5 goals and you kept no clean sheets. You can concede 5 goals in 1 game and then keep 4 clean sheets and you've got a lot more points. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not panicking. The data's not terrible in terms of goals conceded, and I'm a bit of a data man. So I'm not in a rush to sell him. Their fixture run's very good. And basically everyone that has Areola, don't panic. And it's so easy to look at data or so easy to look at points and go, he's not keeping any clean sheets. Keep the faith. He will pick up some clean sheets. So he's definitely an option. Defenders, I don't love. I think Edouard, I'd say you'd maybe go there, but I don't love. Bowen is a huge option. He keeps performing. Antonio's out for 3 months, so he's going to be playing up top. He's done really well. When we talk about talisman, he's their talisman. So he's close to mine. The only reason I haven't considered him the last few days is because of his injury. And we need to keep an eye on that because he's gone to a specialist about, fluid on the knee. So we need to keep an eye on that. But if it's only 1 game, he is in my thoughts, firmly in my thoughts.
Yeah, so I'm going to write Bowen down because those are the only
obvious.
2. They're the only 2 options really.
Bowen, Areola. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And finally, Wolves. I don't want to spend too much time and too much time on them.
The one that comes to mind straight away is Wayne.
Game week 15, they've got 2 Burnley and Forest at home, followed by West Ham away, followed by Chelsea at home, Brentford away, and then Everton at home. Their fixture run is average to middly, but it's just who do you have?
The only one, like I said, that springs to mind is Juan, and it's only because he's 5.5 and he's a midfielder on the game and he plays up top on his own every game, and he's nailed. He started. Well, he wasn't at the start of the season, but he started the last 6 games. He's gone 85, 85, 90, 90, 90, 90. And he's picked up 3 goals in those 6 games and 2 assists. So if they're going to do well, it's going to be him. It's going to go through him. So, and he's a midfielder. If he was a striker, I'd go, meh. As a 5.5 midfielder, there's worse.
And plus, he's 5.3 on the game as well.
Yeah. So he's the one. If the fixture on gets really good, it would have to be really good.
If you were doing a wild card, you probably would have him, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Game week 15, he'd be very close, wouldn't he? He'd be very close. But yeah.
And there we've done it. So
there we have it.
I think we've really, really, really gone through that quite well, and there's a couple of highlighted teams that we, and you know what, we might do some bits and bobs with this and grade teams at the moment where they need to be in your thoughts, and then we'll try and put together a little bit of a wildcard team over the next couple of days, and we'll put that on our social media as well. But yeah, it's been a journey. I think we are knocking on the door of an hour and a half. It's honestly, I felt like I've never had more to talk about.
No, I agree. But that's the beauty of the game is I've had conversations with you on dog walks, which I do, and I've said to you, I'm not even talking about FPL because there's nothing to say. And then 2 days later, I can't shut up. So it's the beauty of the game is from 1 second there's nothing, and from the next second you can't shut up about it. So big few game weeks coming up, definitely. Like I said, guys, if you're taking it seriously, set alarms. Don't miss midweek deadlines. There's 8 deadlines in the next 5 weeks, so don't miss them. Just be sensible, set alarms, do your stuff. Don't miss, don't burn transfers. But yeah, I'm up for it. We've had too many international breaks, and my seatbelt is on. I'm strapped in, and I'm ready for some more disappointment.
Hopefully, we're going to try and get as much content to you on a game week basis. It's going to be really hard though. We both have busy lives, and Johnny again is jet setting off around the world. He's got a lot of Brighton fixtures to get to, including the Forest away game.
I've got Forest away Saturday, and I've got Athens away on Thursday. I can't believe I just said that, but yeah, going to Athens, so I can't wait for that. That is bucket list.
And then there's a couple of home games as well that you've got. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. And then we'll be hitting the Christmas rigmarole as well. So we're really going to try and get as much out as we possibly can. But obviously there's a turnaround of then transferring them onto the stuff. And I say it's more Johnny needs to start looking at trying to get this out on a podcast. Just because then that might be a little bit easier to create content for us. So stick with us, and we're going to try our best. And good luck as well. I think that this is a big turning point between now and Christmas. Bit of an update on where we're at, both in the kind of I'm sat overall rank of 90,000. And Johnny is you'll have to tell me, where are you?
I was like 600,000-ish, I think, 700,000. Let me quickly check. I'm not overly disappointed with where I am, and I'm not saying we're behind you. 722,000, 700,000.
Yeah. So
which is fine. It's fine. It's a hell of a long way to go.
Yeah. We're not even
41 points behind you.
We're not even a third of the way through. Obviously, I'm in a good position with my wild card in my pocket and all of my chips. So we'll crack on. We'll catch you in a bit. We're going to try and get some stuff compiled over the next couple of days about what we've discussed and stuff like that, and we'll get it out to you. And good luck unlucky for some, but it's not going to be for us. Game week 13.
Correct. Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, see you next time.
Bye.